This is probably the biggest European wedding of the year. Billionaire Duke Hugh Grosvenor married banker's daughter Olivia Henson. The bride looked stunning in her gorgeous wedding dress, but one detail of her outfit took everyone by surprise. What moments of this ceremony impressed the guests the most? Who is this rich man who was recently named the most enviable bachelor in England? And how did this girl manage to win over the brilliant Duke? Watch the full video to find out. Let's get started. Hugh Grosvenor, also known as the Duke of Westminster, is the richest man in the world under the age of 40. His fortune exceeds $12 billion. Hugh is often called the owner of half of London. His family owns 300 hectares of land in the most prestigious areas of London, as well as huge estates and castles throughout England. Some experts believe that the Grosvenors have even more land than the British king. All this, plus large agribusiness and processing plants, bring the Duke fabulous income. However, the main asset of the noble dynasty is not money, but the position in aristocratic society. The Grosvenor family dates back to the Middle Ages and is linked to the royal families of Britain. At the same time, Hugh is an attractive young man with a good sense of humor. He has an awesome hobby, skeet shooting. The Duke of Westminster has even represented the British team in Olympic competitions. The Duke is also very generous. His annual donations to charities amount to tens of millions of dollars. Hugh was educated in an ordinary public school. Few people at school and university knew what kind of family he came from. For his 21st birthday, his father threw a lavish party at the family estate, Eaton Hall, which cost £5 million. There were 800 guests at the party, including Prince Harry. Grosvenor Jr.'s friends were shocked and said, "Wow, I sat next to him in class and had no idea he had so much money." However, there was one guest at the party who knew all about Hugh. Harriet Tomlinson, his college friend, had been Hugh's girlfriend for more than a decade. They had broken up and gotten back together several times. Until the age of 32, this handsome and incredibly wealthy young man was considered an enviable bachelor. This status made him the hope of many London ladies from upper aristocratic circles. In the spring of 2023, their dreams were shattered. And it was not a princess of blue blood, but an ordinary London girl, Olivia, who did it. Hugh and Olivia announced their engagement and impending marriage. How did the daughter of a stockbroker win over the brilliant Duke, to whom dozens of England's aristocratic families wanted to be related? Olivia herself cannot be called a girl of simple origins. She was born into the family of a successful banker who made a good fortune. Her mother, Caroline, is a descendant of the Marquis of Bristol, one of the oldest banking families in Britain. Her parents surrounded their daughter with care and invested a great deal of money in her education. Olivia entered one of the most prestigious educational institutions in England, Marlborough College. Once Kate Middleton, the wife of the British Prime Minister Samantha Cameron, and even the famous rock singer Krista Burr graduated from it. 2 years ago, Olivia's college friend introduced her to Hugh Grosvenor. Their relationship was friendly at first, but gradually grew into something more. They fell in love. They were often seen at concerts and social gatherings. The girl visited the numerous estates of the Grosvenor family. Common views on life, similar hobbies, spheres of activity, and of course, mutual sympathy. Perhaps this was the recipe for a warm relationship between Hugh Grosvenor and Olivia Henson. Finally, the most talked about wedding in the press took place. It was the biggest social event in Britain and perhaps in Europe. The event was attended by the most prominent aristocrats. The wedding took place in the legendary Chester Cathedral. Many kings and queens of England were married there. The bride arrived at the cathedral with her father in a 1930 vintage Bentley. She was incredibly beautiful in her gorgeous gown. Many noticed the elegant detail of Olivia's wedding outfit. Usually brides wear white shoes to match their white gowns, but on Olivia's feet were dark blue velvet high heels with a spectacular bow. Sounds like she was just following an old English tradition. There is an old saying that is supposed to bring good luck to a couple getting married. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a sixpence in the shoe. We're not sure if she had a coin in her shoe, but the shade of blue fits the mood. The border of the veil was embroidered in a pattern similar to the veil worn by the bride's great-grandmother in 1880. This element of her image was apparently her something old. The bride's something borrowed was the Fabergé myrtle leaf tiara that all Grosvenor brides have worn on their wedding days since 1906. This is an incredibly romantic choice of tiara, as the myrtle leaf is a symbol of love and is closely associated with Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love. The new Duchess of Westminster carried a bouquet of flowers specially selected from the gardens of Eaton Hall, where she and the Duke planned to settle. It was expected that the guests of honor would be King Charles III of England and Queen Camilla, since the monarch is Hugh Grosvenor's godfather. But there was a hitch. The thing is, Camilla has a grudge against the Duke of Westminster's family. When Hugh's sister got married many years ago, the family called all the royal relatives, including Elizabeth II, except Camilla. The reason for not inviting Camilla was her non-compliance with the rule of being at the wedding divorced. Perhaps Charles and Camilla held a grudge and refused to attend, citing a trip to Normandy the day before. Other notable absences include the Princess of Wales, who has been keeping out of the public eye as she undergoes treatment for cancer. Prince William was therefore alone and acted as an attendant during the wedding ceremony. But Charles's youngest son, Harry, has publicly stated that he will not attend the wedding. Although he denies any underlying conflict with his older brother William, his refusal is likely related. Hugh Grosvenor is a close friend of both. It is a shame that one of the princes could not attend his friend's wedding because of their long-standing differences. But not without an unpleasant incident. Two protesters from the Just Stop Oil social movement tried to spoil the moment of the newlyweds leaving Chester Cathedral by releasing a cloud of orange smoke. The police arrived quickly and stopped them. Locals who had come to the square to watch the wedding were treated to free ice cream. A huge crowd of curious people applauded William and the newlyweds, and after the wedding, Hugh and Olivia kissed in front of the crowd to rapturous applause. The ceremony was followed by an extravagant wedding reception at the Duke of Eaton Hall family home. But this was already a private celebration, not open to the press. We sincerely admire this beautiful couple and wish them a happy marriage, and its strength will only confirm that the main thing in family life is love, not origin or the size of the wallet. What do you remember most about this wonderful wedding? Share it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.